Hey environmental science students, we're going to learn to read the soil texture triangle. This is an interesting graph to learn to read. It's an example of a ternary diagram, a type of graph that plots three variables on three axes and they all add up to 100%. For soil, the three particle sizes are sand, which is the largest size, and then silt, which is the medium size, and clay, which is the smallest size. So we're going to use this to classify the type of soil we have. And let's try it with a couple examples. So we have here a soil composed of 13% sand, 67% silt, and 20% clay. I actually like to start with the clay because that's the only one that you can draw a horizontal line straight across. The other ones are at angles, so clay is a little bit easier to see. So we find 20% and then go straight across, and it's going to go through a couple different classifications of soil. So let's keep going. Now we have our 13% sand. So the sand is on this axis. There's 20, there's 10, 15 right between them. So 13 is about halfway between those, and you want to draw it at that same angle parallel to those little lines. And then we'll double check that silt is at the 67% and make sure that intersects. So there's 65, there's 70, there's 65 right between them. So 67% will go right here. And that should always happen. If you do it correctly, once you draw two lines that intersect, the third line has to intersect in the same place because there's only one way for those three numbers to add up to 100%. So just check and make sure that you're getting the right answers by drawing that third line anyway. And if you don't, then you can go back and fix it. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Let's try one more example. Oh, and I almost forgot the most important part. So once we find the part that it intersects, that's your classification of the soil type. So in this case, this soil is a silt loam. And you'll learn more about why that's important, of the types of soil are good for different purposes. Let's try it for one more. A soil is composed of 55% sand, 27% silt, and 18% clay. So I'm going to do this one in a different color so we can show it on here. And let's start with the clay again. So it's right below the 20% this time. And then we'll go ahead and do the sand next. So 55% sand is here, and 27% silt. I'll try that one more time. So here's 20, here's 30, here's 25, 27% silt goes right there. And so this soil is a sandy loam. That's our classification of that soil type. So just keep practicing, and if you need more practice, you can always click into the extra practice to do more. Hope that helps.